Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week I take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate an avenue of the race which we might look back on later as having been the path to finding the winner. Well, racing at Sha Tin on Sunday, and the first race we're going to take a look at is race 6, where our winning factor is the debut performance. And I think punters will gravitate here to a handful of runners led by the John Size trained Eremo. The top weight, Oscar Glory, dropping down in class to class 4 with Zach Purton aboard, and a couple of the lightweights who are in form, Apex Top and My Intelligent. But I'm sure that most punters are going to land on Eremo as the horse to beat, coming off his first start second over 1200 metres. So let's take a look at that performance, see what we can learn. And this is race 510. It's the first race on Derby Day, and he's in red and black colours, gate 3, and Joao Moreira has to niggle him along to hold his place in midfield in what was not a particularly fast run race. So this was certainly on the short side for Eremo. But he gets a great run through the race, peeling around the leaders at the top of the straight, and then takes a little bit of winding up before he hits top speed. But when he does hit his straps late, he closes hard to just miss in second placing. So that looks pretty much self-evident. A horse having his first start puts in a good run. He looks like he wants further. He gets further on Sunday at 1400 metres. And so it all looks in order for Eremo. But I thought it was also worth our while in that case. It's a small sample, just one start, to see how these horses generally perform coming off a good first start performance. So I've got some stats for you here going back to September 2015, and this is horses that finished first, second or third in their first start and how they performed at the second start. And over all runners, you can see there it's a pretty good performance, 25% strike rate across all trainers, and that's way better than a strike rate like, for example, last start winners, which come in at around about 16-17%. 25% win rate at their next start for these horses is a pretty darn good strike rate. And as you can see, John Size, not the top of the strike rates, but certainly up towards the top, and he's the guy with the most runners in this category. So that's certainly all encouraging. On the negative side, the draw doesn't look quite as kind this time. He goes from barrier 3 out to a double figure barrier this time. But when we look at the map, there are some things that will mitigate against that. And one of them is the pace, because although a couple of his main dangers, Oscar Glory and Apex Top, will be amongst the front runners and probably getting good runs in the race, there are also others looking to push forward. So the pace doesn't look crazy, but it certainly looks genuine, and I'm sure that's going to help a run-on horse like Eremo, even from the wider draw this time. So the tip in race 6 is Eremo, his winning factor, the debut performance. Sure, he looks fairly obvious, but the stats also support that these horses that perform well at their first start also perform at their second. The second race I want to take a look at on Sunday is race 9, and our winning factor here, the map. And this is one of the more interesting races on the card on Sunday. Some very promising horses here, and I think it boils down to the 4 horses with upside. Bazinga, the 4-year-old who made such a good impression at his first Hong Kong start, and 3 upwardly mobile 3-year-olds, the unbeaten Packing Treadmill, Voyage Bubble, the horse who chased home Bazinga last time, and Brilliant Way, who had excuses last start in defeat. But I'm preferring to rank Brilliant Way 4th out of the 4, and we're going to concentrate on the other 3. And the first one that I want to take a look at is Packing Treadmill. Now this was his second race start. This is race 496. Now he only scrambled home at his debut run when he won, but appeared to be greatly improved by the experience, and you see him here in blue and white colours. He's urged up to second by Zach Purton early, takes a sit behind the leader in an even pace, but you really have to like how he puts them to the sword this time when Purton asks the question in the straight, shooting away to put a good margin into the finish. So now Packing Treadmill takes a rise in grade to class 3 and takes on a couple of other lightly raced promising horses who fought out the finish of a class 3 recently, but not in the order that punters were certainly hoping. and this is race 516, and Voyage Bubble is in green and white, the odds-on favourite here, but he doesn't begin the best in gate 5, and despite Purton's efforts, he gets back in the field, while Bazinga in the light green jumps well, gets straight into the fray early, and there he takes a 1-1 trail in a good even speed, several lengths ahead of the favourite, which proves crucial in the home straight. Now, Voyage Bubble does finish his race off well. We see him down the centre of the track, but not well enough to be taking ground off Bazinga, who also hits the line full of running, despite shying out at the winning post. So there will be plenty there making the case that Bazinga is the horse to beat again, despite a stiff rise in the handicaps. But for me, this race is all about the map, and when we take a look at the map, you'll see who gets the advantages. The horses I've highlighted, they're all winning chances here, but this time we see Bazinga and Packing Treadmill both having to work their race out from the wide draws, while Voyage Bubble has gate 1 and Morera won't have too much trouble giving him a good trip in the race from there. So the tip in race 9, Voyage Bubble. His winning factor, the map. Yes, they've all got good chances, these lightly raced horses here, but I think this is a race that's really going to break for Voyage Bubble. That's going to tell the story, and that's his advantage. Well, that's it from the winning factor for this week. Enjoy your racing on Sunday. We'll see you next time.